Go. First one we cast at with the rocking shad this morning. Old Toledo Bend spotted bass. Good nice chunk. Rocking shad right there. Man, that'll work. First one, first fish. Not what you come to Toledo Bend for, but they're all fun to catch. So I just pulled into this drain. This is a drain that kind of comes off the main lake, off that main creek, and it goes up on the big spawning flats. So these are fish that are coming into this drain to stage to spawn. You know, they're gonna use this like a highway. And if you can see my map, it splits, you know, several different ways here. So if you can get in these drains, that's where I like to be. Utilize those highways and interstates to intercept these fish. These fish are on the move quick. You know, just last week, these fish were out in these deeper drains, out in 20 feet or so. I'm not seeing much out there right now, not much bait. I'm seeing a few more fish shallower in the shallow drains, 10 foot, 8 foot. So hopefully we can run into a few that want to bite here shortly. Catfish. Wrong species. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between a cat and that good old largemouth bass. All right, gotta put a new rocking shad on. You know, usually what I found out is you get into an area where you're scoping a lot of catfish, it's time to leave. So that's what we're about to do. We're about to go try to pick a new drain and go find those largemouth. You know, you heard me talk about drains. Drains is big in this part of the country. Some people call them ditches. So out here we have the main lake down towards this way, and spawning flats, spawning pockets up here. Blue is the spawning flats where you're gonna see those beds. These are the drains where the tight contours run through little valleys, drains, ditches, we like to call them. This is the areas that you're gonna target, where I like to get in the middle, troll around with my Garmin LiveScope, and hopefully find some suspended fish. Decided to move a little farther back into this main creek, pick a drain that's, you know, closer to that back, hopefully to find some more bait, and that's what we did. We've already seen, you know, a couple big groups of shad. We've already seen a few dots swimming around. Just had one bite and it pulled off. Feel good about it already. Bait seems like it's in the depression, as you can tell right there. That is the main creek of this ditch, this drain. And the bait seems to be in it. I got more confidence than I've ever had using my Garmin LiveScope. This shallow scope and this pre-spawn leading up to the spawn, I just won my first Bass Pro Tour tournament. And I did exactly what I'm doing right now. Really targeting those fish that are staging, that are going in the backs of these flats to spawn. I absolutely just landed on them. You just have to stay on that trolling motor. You never know, they move so quick, within an hour, you know, between morning and evening. So staying up with those fish is key. You know, and luckily I was able to land on them and stay up with those fish through the remainder of that tournament.
Justin Cooper right back to the top of the score tracker.
Well, sun has come out now. We're back out here looking around, trying to find a few more suspended fish to cast at. You know, I'm seeing that fish out there, and I'm lining him up with the arrow on my trolling motor. I want to try to cast past that fish. Once that bait gets to his level, wherever he's at in the water column, that's when I'm going to engage my reel and start my retrieve. And I want my bait to go just over the top of that fish that I'm targeting, you know, within a foot. I like just a nice little quick subtle twitch, nothing too crazy, trying to be as much as you know, as lifelike as possible. You know, with that little bit of twitch that I put in my rod, this rocking shad, it does like it says, it rocks back and forth. This is a wing bait that has wings on both sides, and that water pushing through there and pushing up on those wings as that rod is twitching and that slack of that line is bouncing, it allows it to rock. And another thing, it's actually salt in the belly of this bait and no salt in the back. That allows that bait to sit horizontal, belly down at all times, and gives it that added extra rocking action. There's one right there. It's about right at 10 foot under the surface. Should be the cast. Here he comes. There we go. Oh. Come here. Rocket shad. That's what you want right there. That's what we come to Toledo Bend for. XPS rocket shad. Man, beautiful fish. It's out here suspended. There we go. It popped out. A little bit of a belly. Probably moving out here just trying to feed on some bait. Then go get up to spawn. We're out in 20 foot of water out here in the mouth of a drain before it leads into a spawning pocket. Just a nice solid 3.5 pound fish. Toledo Bend. So let me show you the setup that we're using today. We're out here using our forward facing sonar, our Garmin LiveScope, and we're using a jig head minnow. I like a small profile. This is a 4-inch XPS rocking shad. They make a 5-inch as well. My favorite color being the green gizzard shad. I also utilize the albino pearl. Rod and reel setup, I like a rod that is about a 7-1 medium light. I like a 15-pound braid to a 12-pound fluorocarbon leader, you know, with a nice smooth spinning reel. These happen to be Bass Pro Shops Platinum Signature Series rods and reels, XPS line. This is my favorite setup for jig head minnow. The main thing to keep in mind when you're out here, looking for suspended fish is don't stay in an area too long. We've kind of had to locate some bait. Once we located some bait, first fish we casted at was a nice Toledo Bend largemouth. There's always some biting fish. So you just gotta keep moving and you'll eventually run into them.